February 18, 2025. Mental health Israel. Seek help, end the stigma. On the news this afternoon. Elder statesman Clark dies at 97 as leaders react. Martin Amehule-led Rivers Assembly takes swipe at Governor Fubara. Nigeria's headline inflation drops. On the foreign scene, Palestinian security accuse Israel of violating Gaza ceasefire. I'm Ifechuku Moile with the news. Now we begin the news this afternoon with a report of the death of the leader of the Pan-Niger Delta Forum, PANDEF, Edwin Clark, at the age of 97. The death of the former Federal Commissioner for Information was confirmed by a family representative, Professor C.C. Clark, today. Clark's death comes barely 4 days after the death of Pa Ayo Adebajo, the leader of the Pan-Yoruba Socio-Cultural Group, Afenifere. Clark was also known for mediating peace among warring communities and politicians in the Niger Delta region. He recently set up a committee to reconcile the Rivers State Governor Similai Fubara and the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike. Meanwhile, former spokesperson for PANDEF, Anab Saraiwe, has described the late Clark as a consistent fighter.
The Roku has fallen in the Niger Delta, and I expect all the Niger Delta states to clear half mask and declare mourning for the elder statesman who has fought so hard for the region. We don't know what will happen to other leaders. But as a people, we have lost the gem. I would say he's a fighter, consistent, and a beacon of hope to the people of Niger Delta, and indeed Nigerians. It's among the 12 Nigerians that tie this country together. So it's gone. All I would say, may so rest in peace.
Well, moving on, the Rivers State government called on the Martin Amehule-led House of Assembly to stop misleading the public on their status as members of the House. The State Commissioner for Information, Joe Johnson, in a statement, insists that they have since lost their seats following their defection to the APC. Now, he also said the issue of whether the remaining minority lawmakers can carry on with businesses of the House after the majority defected to the APC was not raised nor discussed in the Justice Omotosho judgment. Meanwhile, the Speaker of the Martin Amehule-led Rivers State House of Assembly has called on the National Judicial Council, NJC, and the Disciplinary Committee of the Nigeria Bar Association, NBA, to warn the Attorney General of the Rivers State, Dagogo Iboroma, for allegedly misleading Rivers people and heating up the polity in the state. Mr. Amehule said this when some Rivers lawmakers at the National Assembly paid them a courtesy visit. He also maintained that members will stand firm and strong amid the political crisis in the state.
Let me very sincerely and very seriously call on the NJC and of course the Nigerian Bar Association to call him to order. He should not forget that he's supposed to be a minister in the Temple of Justice. What he's doing today, he's hitting up the polity, forgetting that he has a professional code he's supposed to abide by, which is not, because I do not see a senior advocate of Nigeria doing what he's doing. This is Rivers State, this is a constitutional democracy, and will not allow these sort of individuals to derail our democracy.
Mr. Amehule also said all those parading as commissioners, permanent secretaries, and those newly inaugurated into the Rivers State local government and assembly commissions are not officers of the state government, as they have not been confirmed by the Martin Amehule-led House of Assembly.
Laws of Rivers State provide for screening and confirmation of nominees for appointment as members of the Rivers State Local Government Service Commission. The governor is here to write us. The governor does not have a local government service commission in place. What we have are impostors all over the place. The Rivers State House of Assembly Service Commission, as the law prescribes, is one that is supposed to be a product of the Rivers State House of Assembly, not the governor. There is no review on public procurement, but they will give accounts of what they are doing with taxpayers' money.
Now, responding on behalf of the Rivers State lawmakers, the member representing Kana-Gokana Federal Constituency, Dumnamene Deko, advised Governor Fubara to respect court orders. He called on the IGP and the State Commissioner of Police to effect the court orders.
For the records, there were several reliefs as presentation of the 2024 budget sought by the Right Honorable Martins Amehule-led Assembly, which included the determination of who is the Speaker and members of the Rivers State House of Assembly. Non-interference by the Governor of Rivers State with the activities and functions of the Martins-led Assembly, protection, that is Inspector General of Police, to ensure adequate security for them to carry out their duties. Disbandment of any other House of Assembly or self-acclaimed speaker other than Martins Amewule.
In the meantime, Justice Emmanuel Obile of the Federal High Court in Port Harcourt has adjourned to April 30th for adoption of written addresses by lawyers. Now, the matter is seeking the interpretation of the court on the status of Martin Amewule and 26 others as members of the Rivers State House of Assembly. As you may know, Victor Okojumbo, Sokari Goodboy, and one other lawmaker are challenging the legitimacy of Martin Amewule and 26 others as members, as Speaker and members of Rivers State House of Assembly following their alleged defection from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressive Congress. When the matter resumed for hearing yesterday, the presiding judge, Justice Emmanuel Obile, said the court will wait for the outcome of the matter at the Supreme Court, noting that the court cannot afford to share proceedings with the Supreme Court. In other news, the leader of the local security vigilante group in Ikwere local government area, Dixon Bomahom, says the recent cold clash in Obele community and Moha local government area has worsened insecurity, particularly in neighboring communities. Speaking to correspondent Mekotoka, Mr. Bomahom, who said he is the chief security officer of Ikwere local government area, revealed that many wanted gang members have taken refuge in nearby communities, with some resorting to crime due to hunger.
Because of the way the government is, they are no longer saying they are coming. So each time they come this side, they will not get where they will eat. Then they will start terrorizing our own area against the local government. We are facing killing. They are destroying some shops, looting the developers their property. So it's not good.
He, however, assured residents not to panic as his team is on the ground to safeguard lives and property. Mr. Bomahom also urged landlords to properly profile their tenants to prevent harboring criminals.
So our advice now to the people is that nobody should panic. We are into it and we will fight the crime. We are trying to keep everything in order. Like yesterday, we have pancreas all the various communities in the local government, telling the indigenous and non-indigenous who reside here that if you know that the person is in your house because of this crisis, make sure that you will involve police so that each time they act strange, you know who to pick. You checkmate your tenant, both indigenous and non-indigenous.
Now, commercial drivers in River State, under the aegis of Drivers Welfare Club of Nigeria, say they are not backing down on their planned protest. Recall that the drivers earlier raised concerns that Opiapo Task Force officials resumed impounding commercial vehicles that do not have council stickers. Speaking in an interview, the chairman of the union, Christopher Ezali, said they are aware of plans to plant hoodlums in their midst to hijack the protest, but vowed to resist it. Mr. Ezali, however, appealed to the local government area chairman, Chijoke Iwon.
There is a threat to my life if our union go ahead with the civil disobedience tomorrow. But we are not deterred over threats and vows that we must enforce the emblems on us, which we shall resist. We are also hopeful that the local government chairman, who has the interests of the people at heart, will have a rethink and consider our plights.
Away from that, a resident of Road 1 Woji Estate, Mr. Chinedu, has shared his frustration after vandals struck the area Saturday night, stealing the armored cables from the transformer. He said this wasn't the first attempt. There have been several failed attempts to damage the transformer, along with multiple vandalized transformers in Woji.
Those of us who have stuff in our fridge and all the rest, it's not making sense. There was once where they tried to vandalize this transformer, and we took effort, we made move to see how we could actually work on it. But somehow some stuff came up and all the rest, and we didn't achieve that. Yes, PhD was supposed to come shut it down because, of course, we can't work on it while it's still connected. They didn't come, and we left it. So seeing this happening now, which was the same thing we're trying to avoid, it's actually being terrible. The heat is really something else. The weather is hot. You can't sleep in the night. My body are awful with rashes and all the rest.
Mr. Chinedu called on the PHED, police and other authorities to take action.
Transformer, it's according to their policy, this is the property of PHED. So I also feel even the getting it well secured should also be their responsibility, because we pay for these things. These are the things we pay for. So it should be their responsibility to get it sorted out. Okay, now that something like this has happened, they're supposed to come see what they can do, see how the problem can be resolved. But nobody is making any move. And then the police should also look into this, because we have a strong feeling that whoever did this is a professional in this. So I am also calling on the police to investigate this. This is like the 5th transformer that is being vandalized within this area.
Our correspondent reports that the vandals arrived in a Hilux vehicle, one masked, another armed in military camouflage and holding an eyewitness at gunpoint while the rest carried out the operation. Still to come, Nigeria's headline inflation drops. Stay with us.
Congratulations, you're in the glory of
Other news. Prince Bekwele Nwapara has announced his resignation as chairman of the National Youth Council of Nigeria NYCN Obiakpo chapter. In a statement, Mr. Bekwele Nwapara also said that he has resigned as secretary of the Obiakpo Local Government Employment Bureau. He expressed gratitude to the chairman of Obiakpo Council, Chijioke Ihumo, for the opportunity to serve in the Employment Bureau. He clarified that his decision is personal and does not affect his relationship with the people. Prince Nwapara also thanked the people for their support, particularly during his tenure as NYCN chairman. And now, an environmental activist, Onyekachi Okoro, has criticized the Rivers State government for appointing political loyalists to manage the state's waste management agency, RWAMA, warning that sanitation issues will persist unless qualified professionals are put in charge. Mr. Okoro, who serves as the executive director of the Media Awareness and Justice Initiative, made the statement during an interview with our correspondent while assessing the recent appointment of RWAMA's new management.
The government should start employing professionalism. It should not be abusing this opportunity to settle political affiliates and political friends. I think it should be a position where people who are professionals should be engaged. There has to be adequate manpower. I don't believe the government can work in isolation. I want to believe that the government can work in collaboration with other key stakeholders like media, like CSOs, and like communities themselves.
Mr. Okoro also wants environmental impact assessment to be carried out wherever the Obidikwere dump site will be relocated to.
I would say that the Rivers State government should invest in environmental management, provide vehicles, provide needed manpower, ensure that the right environmental parameters are adhered, like what has happened at the airport road dump site. Even as a civil society person, before you embark on a particular project, there has to be some sort of feasibility study. There has to be an environmental impact assessment. What is the impact of this kind of approach on the host community and on the environment in general?
Now, he called on the new RWAMA management to come up with better ways for citizens to dispose of their waste.
I'm shocked that a state as big as Rivers State, we don't even have any vehicle that sweeps our road. We have to have this kind of equipment that helps to clear the dirt in Rivers State and dispose of adequate. I will say that there should be some kind of a mapping of house in Rivers State or in Port Harcourt to start with, and then have this disposable truck go from street to street, even with a speaker. They don't come so that people can bring out their dead. People bringing their dead out to the main road, for me, I think it's still a case.
Now in business, the National Bureau of Statistics (NBS) says Nigeria's headline inflation dropped to 24.48% for the month of January. The Bureau put food inflation at 26.08% year-on-year. In entertainment, the police have declared controversial singer Portable wanted for allegedly leading a violent attack on government officials carrying out their lawful duties. In sport, Manchester United are keen on signing Victor Osimhen, who is on loan at Galatasaray from Napoli, but the 26-year-old Nigeria striker's Champions League aspiration and wage demands might make any deal tough to complete.
And now, we bring you news from around the world.
Palestinian security sources have accused Israel of violating the Gaza ceasefire 266 times since it came into effect in the Gaza Strip on January 19. They told Al Jazeera that those violations led to the killing of at least 132 Palestinians, including 26 who succumbed to their wounds. More than 900 people were injured as a result of Israeli gunfire and raids on the enclave. They said most of the violations occurred in central Gaza, with 110 incidents, followed by 54 in Rafah, 49 in Gaza City, 19 in Khan Yunis, and 13 in the northern Gaza Strip.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Well, that's a wrap on the news this afternoon. Before we go, let's have a look at the major stories. Elder statesman Edwin Clark has died at 97. Martin Amihule-led Rivers Assembly has taken a swipe at Governor Fubara. Nigeria's headline inflation has dropped to 24.48% for the month of January. On the foreign scene, Palestinian security forces have accused Israel of violating the Gaza ceasefire 266 times. The news was edited by Onyeka Chinwosu. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808-721-7215. I'm Ifechukwu Moyele. Many thanks for listening.